Hello friends and welcome back. I'm Enterprise Architecture and we're back here playing more Vintagestory. Now if you're not familiar with Vintagestory, where have you been for the last few years? It's a nice little wilderness survival game. It can be pretty difficult, it's pretty brutally hard, but we're playing a nice, peaceful, cozy playthrough for the winter, just hanging out, being very chill, and, you know, trying to do a little bit of farming, doing a little adventuring, but again, peaceful mode, as chill as can be, and not lots of combat or any of that nonsense. So today, we need to venture out a little bit because honestly, my belly is grumbling and we do not have any food, or at least very little food. So, no further ado, let's dive right in. Yeah, so that hunger bar, that's ticking down there pretty quick. If we can't find something to eat pretty fast here, we might have to go back over to the other island. I'm gonna go ahead and clear out my inventory a little bit here before we get too far away though. I still have all of this peat and whatnot from the crafting that we were doing at the end of the last episode where we were smelting up some of our clay goods that we had made. I'm really excited to have those done, and with any luck, that'll be done in the next, I don't know, by the time we start the next episode, hopefully, we can start doing some bronze crafting. I think that'll be good for us. Let's see here, just have to deal with all of these various items that we have collected here. Now, I've installed a couple of different mods in this pack. Well, honestly, I've installed a lot of mods in this pack. But among those are the ones that give us some extra piles of things that we can then stack up here. I do not think among those piles, however, are clay piles. So for some of this stuff, we're just gonna have to find a temporary solution for it. And I think in this case, this is as good as anything. We'll just throw everything down right here. Yeah, let's go ahead and put our grass with that. And some of these other stuff like small bones, we can literally just kind of throw down like that. Now, among the things that I want to start growing immediately is going to be a bunch more cattails. I think we've got a few cattails around here, but I do believe that having access to more cattails so that we can make more chests is going to be very helpful for us. So I picked up a bunch of the actual roots of the cattails last time when I was first coming through. Excuse me, not last time, but when we started the pack. So I do have some of these on hand, but when I'm going through and collecting these, I do go ahead and grab the roots up. And that way I can replant these somewhere that's more convenient for me, and I can make a nice little farm of all of my cattails. So again, we probably shouldn't even be grabbing these up at this point because I'm literally just taking up space in my inventory, but it is a good thing to do. Let's see here. Fly agaric. Is that an edible mushroom? Let's see here. We're looking for, when eaten, negative HP, right? So negative HP means this is indeed poisonous. So we don't want to eat that. So we'll just throw that away for now. Oh, and it looks like we found a really big cave. So let's just mark this on our map real fast here. We are going to do cave. There we go, just like that. And I'm not really ready to adventure in there yet to see what's in it. Witch's hat. From the name, I would guess that Witch's hat is poisonous, but we shouldn't judge a book by its cover. When eaten, 80 saturation, and I don't see any negative health effects. So let's go ahead and grab these Witch's hats real quick, and let's just eat a couple of these just as a little snack. I know I could be cooking all of this up and doing even better with this as far as saturation and everything goes, but unfortunately, our crock pot is not finished cooking up yet. So we're just gonna have to wait for that. Is that the rain finally stopping? I feel like it rained throughout the whole episode, which is nice and chill. It's certainly calming to listen to, but doesn't always make for the best background. It can be a little depressing at times. Let's see. All right, so it's 7 o'clock at night, and we're just gonna cross the river over here to this other ruin. This is the mainland. I spawned in this general vicinity over here before I found this island that has oh, that's a wolf. Again, we are playing in peaceful mode, so the wolves are not going to bother us. Hopefully they won't bother us, and so we're just gonna leave them alone as well here. So yeah, I spawned over in this general vicinity here, and oh, look, even more copper. We'll take it, we'll certainly take it. But copper is not what we are after. No, it's not. Tool roots. Okay, good to have. No, we really need to find some berry bushes pretty quick here. but I'm not seeing any berries. I don't know if we just happen to spawn somewhere that doesn't have many of them, but for whatever reason, they're not really showing up for me here. I feel like the last time when I spawned in a limestone biome, there was just epic amounts of berries everywhere. I think this is one of the few playthroughs I've had where there just wasn't lots of fruit immediately. So here's some cranberry bushes, but there's nothing on them. Now, at some point I will come back here and grab up all of the bushes I can find so that I can replant them, but for the moment, I really just need some food. Let's see here. Nothing over here. With all this scrub brush, you would think that there would be some, but no, not so much. Can we eat the roots here? Do I remember that? No, we have to char them for that. Okay. I'm not going to go to the other side of that river necessarily. So I think we just keep looking around a little bit here till we find anything. Yeah, this might just be not the right spot. Oh, is this another cave as well? Okay, we're going to go ahead and mark this. We'll go ahead and say this is a cave entrance as well. All right. Yeah, so I guess we could just head due north here for a while and see if we come across anything to eat. Whatever you are you a horse or a donkey? Yeah, we do have the horses mod, so we will have access to horses here. Yeah, I don't want to cross the river again. We might just have to do some climbing, some parkouring until we get anywhere with this. All right, wandering around in the wilderness. This is an integral part of the Vintage Story experience. Again, usually something that I would historically edit out. Oh, but we've got a lot of peat here. Oh, I'm gonna mark that. Historically, I would edit all of that out, but I think for our purposes, berries. Today, we are not gonna do that. I think that as much as possible, I'd like to keep this as a low edit sort of setup here. I would like to include as much footage as possible because really, edits are what take the most of the time when it's producing a series like this. It just takes a really, really long time to trim down to get all of the best content. And even then, you're never quite happy with it. But, you know, I could play for hours and hours and eventually come up with, you know, maybe a few minutes of playthrough. And it's just not the best way to spend my time. It just doesn't feel rewarding to lose all of that time just doing all of the work and not feeling like it really has much benefit. So I don't love that. I feel like in the last series that we did, we were playing Ocean Block 2 with my good friend Geekier Gamer. What a wonderful human being he is. So we were playing through, and with Ocean Block, for the most part, that was pretty unedited. I think that worked really well for us. We got a lot done in an episode because there was two of us working together. And teamwork, of course, makes the dream work. So I think that worked really well for us. And Geek and I are going to return and do a little bit more playing together here in the future. We were just talking about maybe doing a little holiday bonus episode. And if we're really lucky, we might recruit a couple of other friends of the show to join along on that adventure as well. Some people that, well, at least one or two folks that you all might already know. So if we can get schedules to align between now and the holiday season, I think we'd love to do that. Hello, baby piglet. Oh, you are adorable. You are definitely a nice little friend there. All right, so I'd explored this area a little bit in the past, so all this looks familiar, but again, no berries, and we're still running pretty low here on food. So I think we start vaguely wandering our way back. As far as food resources go, I feel like we have not picked the exact best location for us here. But since we are so short on food, oh, is this a fruit tree? It is a fruit tree. This is a pear tree. Okay, great. And it looks like there's another one really nearby here as well. That's wonderful because I would like to have a little fruit orchard as part of what we are doing here. So maybe we can turn ourselves into a little fruit grower and have a little orchard if we can find enough trees to justify that. Now, I know they have to get a little bit bigger here. We have to have some branchy leaves to be able to cut a cutting off of it. So for now, we're gonna have to leave that alone. it's probably going to be well into next year before we are going to be able to get more off that. All right, losing my sense of direction already. And I think now at this point, any other plants I find that have anything that we can eat on them, we should probably go ahead and grab up, even if they are if they're like 15 days away, we should probably pick up those fruit bushes. All right, another good little find here. We have some almond mushrooms. Now, if I remember correctly, yeah, these are indeed edible. Let's go ahead and grab these up. We're finding plenty of copper, but we can't eat copper, so that's not really that helpful for us. All right, let's grab that up. Oh, look at all this copper. I think this is going to be a very nice vein of copper when we get to it. Oh, olivine, but we don't want to pick up the olivine. I'm going to put that back down because we really can't do anything with it at this point. Just making sure I didn't miss any mushrooms in my haste. I may have just glanced right past it. Yeah, I thought so. There's a few more mushrooms for us. Grab these up. And hopefully this will be a nice little snack for us, at least to keep us going for a little while longer. And yeah, we'll even grab up this tin as well. All right, let's grab these mushrooms here. Now, I think what we have done in this pack is also, if I remember correctly, we should be able to grow mushrooms. I think I added the mod that lets us grow mushrooms. I'm 90% sure that I added it. If not, I'll have to go back and find that one. I am relatively sure that I put the mod in here, though, that lets us turn our various flowers into seeds, and then we can grow more flowers with our flower seeds. So that's going to be really, really helpful so that we can get a nice crop of flowers growing. That means we can decorate things and make it all nice and pretty here. All right, let's double check our map. Yeah, I think we need to turn around and go north. I didn't even notice this giant snowy mountain over here, but that's going to be something for us to explore as well once we're a little better prepared. Right now, I worry if we went to the mushroom that we would, of course, freeze to death. Now, chanterelles, I'm relatively certain those are edible. That's going to be a wonderful, delightful, tasty snack for us here. Let's see here. 80 saturation. Yeah, we can definitely munch on those real fast. In real life, you know, I used to love mushrooms. They used to be one of my favorite things. And then I had well, quite frankly, I had a food poisoning experience that was not pleasant. It was my own fault. And ironically, it wasn't mushrooms that actually made me sick. What made me sick was I had apparently had some chicken that had gone off, and I didn't really realize it. It didn't smell like it had gone off, but it was not good. So that was a long night. But there's this thing called the Garcia effect, if I remember correctly from my psych classes. And what the Garcia effect does is you don't always have a negative reaction to the thing that actually made you sick. It's the part of it that you remember. So because I remember particularly that flavor of the mushrooms for a really long time, I couldn't stand to eat them because I just remembered that from coming back up. So I just avoided mushrooms altogether for a really long time. And now it's been almost 20 years now, so I can have them again. And you know, I'm still not as eager for them as I once was when I was younger and absolutely loved them, but now at least I can enjoy them and have them. What I can't apparently do is climb blocks. Apparently that's too hard for me. All right, so we're about at 3/4 health now. That's a pretty good place to be. Let's go ahead and drop off some of our various goods here that we found in our adventure, including that lump of fat. You know what, the hide I think we can literally just put on the ground. Hey, what are you doing in here? You're not my friend, but I would love for you, little deer, to be my friend. Here, why don't you run out? There you go. All right, so right after saying I didn't want to edit too much, I immediately went ahead and edited a bunch out here. I just made a nice little hike all the way up north here so that I could start finding my way around and just figure out what else is going on in this area. Like I said, went north a little bit here, went south back around here around this giant snow-covered mountain peak. I don't know what kind of trees those are up there, but certainly interesting looking. So it looks like this is kind of walled off from the rest of the area by this water. So yeah, I don't know that we have a a really great way across this point unless I build another bridge. So it looks like we are on a little bit of an island here, which certainly is nice to know. I guess it's going to be good for protection purposes, technically, if there's invading armies, but for now I think we're going to be okay. I think we're pretty safe. What I will do though is I'm going to go ahead and go after these oak branchy leaves, and with any luck we will get a seed off that. Did we? No, we did not. I was hoping that they would drop just a single seed for us so that we would have an oak tree that we could grow in the future. We're going to need oak trees for a variety of things in the future, namely leather making. So if we do see another oak tree, we will stop and try to cut that down. I think I have the mod installed that does insist on giving us at least one seed off of any tree that you cut down. So I'm hoping, ooh, more chanterelles. Okay, great. I'm hoping that will be a good way for us to get started with having a farm of them. And I think you see what I see there. That is going to be some resin. We are just going to mark that for now because we don't actually need it at the moment. It is important to note though that in this pack I do have it turned on so that we can indeed grow more resin on trees that you've planted. In Vintagestory by default, when you plant a tree, a pine tree, it's not going to generate resin spots. But there is a mod, well there used to be a different mod, but now there's a new mod that allows you to grow resin spots back on trees that you have planted. Tinderhoof. I don't remember if Tinderhoof is edible or not. Oh, it is. Okay, great. We're going to grab all of these up then. So we will be able to then farm pine trees for resin. We aren't going to be beholden to just finding those spots, which honestly I think makes a lot more sense. I think that's a lot more realistic. Ooh, that's edible as well. Okay. I'm learning a lot about mushrooms here. I don't in real life know that much about mushrooms except for the more domestic varieties that I am familiar with. So yeah, this is quite an exciting adventure. We're going to be just surviving on mushrooms for a while. Of course, lobster mushrooms are edible. I think I already knew that, but here we go. Okay, so getting a whole lot of these here. Are you a baby bear? I think that's or a baby wolf. All right, we might just go and see what you are, but we aren't going to actually pick a fight. Oh, you're barking. Yeah, you're a little baby wolf. Okay. Let's see here. We'll just we'll keep working our way around here, back the way we came, picking up everything that we can. I am glad though that we found enough mushrooms to survive on for a while, so that's going to help us out considerably. We no longer are in imminent danger of immediate starvation, so feeling good about that. Let's see. All of these are pine and maple, which makes sense. I feel like most of the trees in the game are pine and maple. At least 99.9% of all the trees I ever remember seeing in Vintagestory, for whatever reason. Okay, let's see here. Hello, raccoon. Oh, I read an amazing article the other day that raccoons are moving towards being domesticated. Like, obviously they've been eating out of our like trash cans like forever, but that you know, over time, by being around humans, not even from us like trying to like make them domesticated, animals can kind of naturally domesticate from being around us. So apparently raccoons are indeed in that category of sort of self-domesticating now that they've lived with humans for so long. So, you know, eventually it'll be safe to bring them inside and, you know, not get rabies or anything like that. Although I think most raccoons don't carry rabies. I think that's actually an urban legend. Anyway, so yeah, maybe someday we can all live the dream of having our own little pet raccoons. All right, a few more copper nuggets here. We got some more quartz down here as well. That's good. A bunch more cattails over here. All sorts of good stuff. But again, just not as many bushes in here as I would expect. I do even have it so that the growth speed is turned up on everything. So we'll ripen in 18 days. I mean, that seems like an astonishingly long amount of time. Oh, and look at all the horses. Or is that a donkey? What are you? Yeah, you're a donkey. Okay, that's fine. And I think you're a horse. No, you're a donkey too. Okay, well, of course you'll appear in groups. So we can indeed get some donkeys going here in a little bit. Oh, poor fox. I'm sorry, my friend. Well, since you've passed, you are unfortunately going to have to become fodder for us. And it's I don't know what's going on there. It's not letting me right click on you, fox friend. Oh, there you are, over here. Okay. So bushmeat. The bushmeat is still perishable, but it'll last a few more days. Let's go ahead and grab that up. I'm going to leave that carcass in there because we don't need the bones at the moment. We're just going to make a mental note that that's there. Well, I guess mental notes never do us right? We should 100% actually mark that we have left some bones here. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just put this here and just say that, bones, bones in all caps. That's fine. All caps, bones. Okay, wonderful. All right, and what do we have here? More witch's hat. Yeah, none of these are super growable. We have some more tin, but that's near enough to the house. I'm not worried about it. Okay, all of these are now done. That is a wonderful sign. All of our storage vessels are done. Is this done too? If this is done, we're gonna be pretty well off. Oh yeah, and we have charcoal. Okay, great. So with all of our vessels done, this means that we are ready to start on making bronze, and also this means that we can at long last actually make some decent food, because now we have a cooking pot that we can use. Now I am going to make a quick stop here to grab up some more cattails, because we do really need one more or more of our baskets. We're just really struggling with our inventory at this point. The storage container that we made in the last episode will help with that considerably. That's got a lot of slots for us. But since we're about to start doing some cooking and whatnot, we are just going to need a little bit more here. So let's go ahead and grab up all of these. And if we don't grab all of them, that's okay. We're going to be fine here. But just enough to make one basket, I think, would be good. And if I remember correctly, again, it's been so long since I've played this game. I believe that if we make up an actual proper basket, yeah, a reed chest. Sorry, that's what they call it. Oh, we need 3 of each. Okay, well, we're getting pretty close here. So we just need to get one more and we can call it. Do we not have just one more cattail? There we go. Deep in here, we have one more cattail. All right, perfect. All right, let's head back to base, and we will then put together one more basket, and the other thing we are going to do is start cooking our first meal. All right, 1 reed chest. There we go. That puts us in a pretty good position. Let's put you down here. And then we're just going to start dropping all of this extra stuff in there. Anything that's not going to be immediately useful for us here. Yeah, we didn't really pick up any grain along the way. This is surprising. We have some flax seeds, but only 1 piece. We have some turnips, but usually porridge is the thing that gets you going through most of the early game. In this case, we don't have that. So this is going to be a little unusual. I need to go further afield and find ourselves some porridge here. All right, so storage container, that's going to be helpful for us. Let's go ahead and grab all of these crocks up real fast here, just like that. It looks like each of those are taking up a whole slot. That's fine. Go ahead and grab our cooking pot. And yeah, we've got our crucible there. Wonderful. And I believe these stack though, right? Yeah, these will stack. Okay, wonderful. So now we have our bowls. So we need to go ahead and set down all of our various things that we have collected here, all of the items that we have baked up in the kiln. There we go. We've got all that going. Let's go ahead and put the crucible down here too. It looks like, what is this? Is this a watering can? I can't see here. That is a ceramic jug. Okay, well, apparently we can use that for holding fluids at some point. But the ceramic cook pot, that's the more interesting one. Put that right there on our fire. And now I think the first thing we want to do is actually probably cook up this bush meat. That's going to be a wonderful source of food for us. We are going to have to put our torch in our on hand. There we go, just like that. Okay, and that's gonna start cooking up for us here. There we go. All right. I think we can also cook up some of these other items, but I don't think that these will become a stew or anything when we put them together like that. I think we just have to have them individually charred up. So bushmeat, this is gonna cook up here. As soon as it gets enough temperature, it says it's cold. Oh, you know why? It's because bushmeat you don't cook in a ceramic pot. That's a thing that I have forgotten in this game. Now it's gonna cook up just fine for us. All right, cooked bushmeat is done. Can we cook these chanterelles right over top? Yeah, we can. See, we didn't even need the ceramic cooking pot. I mainly bought that because I knew that we were gonna need it the second that we actually find some grains that we can start making, like I said, porridges, things like that. But for right now, this should work fine. So let's see here. This is 80 saturation when eaten raw. And I'm really curious as to what the saturation is going to look like once you cook them. I do believe that these are going to last for a decent amount of time. It looks like each of these say that they're 36 days. There we go, 100 saturation. So it is definitely worth cooking. And it does look like the amount of time that it will stay perishable has increased as well. All right, so one thing I want to do here is try and find myself a nice wooden slab, or ideally a wooden set of stairs. And the reason why we want to do that is because we're going to do a nice little trick here with this storage vessel. Storage vessels will actually preserve their ingredients for a lot longer if they're in a cellar, but you have to convince it that it's in a cellar. Now, I know that this will work with a stair. I don't know if it's going to work with a slab. Let's see here. Parish speed 0.38. If I break this, parish speed 0.44. So yes, this does indeed work with a slab as well. So by putting any sort of a block over top, it makes it think that this is now in a cellar. And that means now that food that's put in here will perish a lot slower. So now this actually is only 7 days, but we'll certainly take it. 68 days for our meat. And of course, we can come back over here and grab our chanterelles, and we're gonna get a few more days out of that, 125 there. And we'll just move all of these. Actually, no, let's not cook these other mushrooms just yet. And the reason why we don't want to cook the other mushrooms is we will cook those into a porridge if we can get lucky enough to find something to make a porridge out of. But for now, we get to enjoy the fruits of our labor, and we can nom down on this cooked bushmeat and get just a little bit of saturation there, and we may as well go ahead and eat our cooked chanterelles as well. We've earned it. Well, friends, that did a little bit to fill our bellies, but we really need to find ourselves some hearty grains before we're really going to feel nice and full. But I do feel like we made some pretty decent progress today. You know, we've started to get a little bit together so that we can actually start doing some proper farming and cooking and all of that good stuff. Next episode, we are going to make our first bronze tools with any luck. So tune in next time for that. For now, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you back here next time. Bye, friends.